There are secrets that stay hidden for years, locked away in silence, buried under memories we all try to forget. And then there are secrets that resurface when you least expect them, a single moment, a single discovery, powerful enough to shake everything you thought you knew. For Kenyaman and Demet Özdemir, that secret came in the form of a photograph. A hidden photo that no one was ever supposed to see. To the public, their story seemed like a fairy tale. The dazzling smiles on screen, the undeniable chemistry, the way their eyes found each other even when they weren't speaking. Fans across the world believed it was real, but they could only guess. What no one knew was that behind the scenes, between the rehearsals and the cameras, there were moments that weren't part of any script. Moments that belonged only to them. And one of those moments was captured, frozen in time, hidden in a single photograph. No one knows who took it, no one knows why it was kept secret, but for years, that photo was out there, silent, waiting. When it finally surfaced, it wasn't just another piece of gossip. It was proof. Proof of something deeper, something raw, something neither of them had ever fully admitted. For Demet, seeing that image again was like reopening an old wound she had spent years trying to heal. And for the first time, she broke her silence. She spoke about the photo, and about the memories it dragged back into the light. Her confession wasn't calm, polished, or prepared. It was emotional, trembling, full of the kind of pain you can't rehearse. Because that hidden photo didn't just bring back memories, it brought back everything. The laughter, the tears, the love, the regret. And in her voice, in every word she spoke, you could hear it, this wasn't just a story. It was the truth. A truth she had carried in silence, until that photo made it impossible to hide any longer. The world thought they knew Can and Demet's story. But with this photo, with this confession, the world realized they had only ever seen the surface. What lay beneath was something else entirely. To understand the weight of that hidden photo, we have to return to the beginning, to the days when everything felt possible, and every glance between them carried a spark too real to ignore. On set, the cameras captured passion, but what lived between those takes was something no lens could ever truly show. The world saw two actors at the height of their careers, but the people closest to them saw something else, a bond that grew stronger with every scene, every rehearsal, every late-night moment when exhaustion gave way to laughter. Their chemistry wasn't just acting. It was something that slipped through in the smallest of details, the way Ken would look at her when she wasn't speaking, the way Demet's smile softened whenever he was near. It was during this golden period that the photo was taken. A single frame, not staged, not scripted. Just a stolen moment when the world fell away and they forgot the cameras, the contracts, the rules. In that moment, there was no actor, no actress. There was only Can. Only Demet. The photo wasn't just an image, it was a story frozen in time. A story that hinted at what they both felt but could never admit out loud. And maybe that's why it was hidden. Because if the world had seen it back then, the carefully built wall between fiction and reality would have shattered instantly. Fans speculated, journalists wrote headlines, producers denied rumors. But behind closed doors, one secret photograph told the truth no one else could. It was proof of a love that existed between the lines, between the takes, in the silence they shared when no one was watching. And though the world didn't see it then, Demet did. Years later, when that photo came back to her, it wasn't just a reminder. It was a storm. A storm that swept her back to those days, to that connection, to the love she had once tried so hard to bury. For years, the photo was nothing more than a shadow. It existed, but no one spoke of it. Whispers surrounded it, rumors hinted at it, but to the outside world, it might as well have been a myth. Some said it had been deleted, destroyed, lost forever. Others claimed someone close to the set had kept it hidden, locked away like a dangerous secret. The truth was simpler, and yet far more devastating. The photo was tucked into a forgotten folder, buried among files no one ever thought to open. It waited there, untouched, as the years passed and their lives drifted apart. Ken built his career abroad, while Demet continued her rise in Turkey. To the world, their chapter had ended. But on one ordinary day, everything changed. Demet was sorting through old archives, organizing material for a project when she stumbled upon it. At first, it was just another file name, another image among hundreds. But the moment she clicked, her heart stopped. There it was. The photo. Clear, undeniable, unchanged by time. Her breath caught in her throat. For a moment, it felt like the world around her froze. The years between then and now melted away, and she was standing once again in that moment, the laughter, the closeness, the feeling of something real that had never been spoken out loud. It wasn't just a photograph. It was proof of a truth she had fought to forget. Proof that what she had felt wasn't just in her imagination. Proof that the connection between them had always been more than fiction. She closed the file, opened it again, as if hoping it would disappear, as if it might suddenly prove false. But it didn't. Each time her eyes fell on it, the memories grew stronger. And with them came the pain she thought she had buried for good. That hidden photo, preserved by chance, had returned. And with it, every memory she had tried so hard to lock away. The moment Demet saw the photo, her world cracked open. Her chest tightened, her eyes burned, and before she even realized, tears had started streaming down her face. She pressed her hand to her mouth as if to hold back the sobs, but it was useless. That single image had undone years of carefully built walls. She whispered to herself, almost in disbelief, it was real, it was always real. For so long, she had convinced herself that what she felt during those days was nothing more than the magic of the screen, the illusion of a role. But the photo proved otherwise. It wasn't acting. It wasn't imagination. It was them. Her mind spun back to that night, to the way Can's eyes had lingered on hers, to the way her smile had betrayed her heart. She had buried those memories deep, hidden them under layers of work, success, and time. And yet here they were again, resurrected in the cruelest way. The pain wasn't just about the past. It was about what never happened, the words never spoken, the love that had remained locked in silence. She thought of how different everything could have been, if only they had been braver, if only the world hadn't stood between them. That night, Demet couldn't sleep. The photo lay heavy in her thoughts, replaying over and over like a film she couldn't escape. She paced her apartment, phone in hand, torn between deleting it and holding on to it forever. Deleting it would mean burying the truth again. Keeping it meant never escaping the pain. In the end, she did neither. She simply sat in silence, staring at the image until her vision blurred with tears. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to break, not for the cameras, not for the fans, but for herself. And in that breakdown, she realized something devastating: some wounds never heal. They only hide, waiting for the right moment to return. It didn't take long before the hidden photo slipped out of Demet's hands and into the world. A single leak, a whisper on social media, and within hours it was everywhere. Headlines screamed with speculation, the photo that changes everything. Was it real all along? Proof of a secret love? Fans dissected every detail. The way Can's hand brushed against hers, the way Demet leaned toward him with an intimacy that couldn't be staged. The image was raw, unpolished, too natural to be just another behind-the-scenes snapshot. To those who saw it, it was evidence. Evidence of something more than friendship, more than professionalism. Demet tried to stay quiet, but silence only made the noise louder. The media chased her relentlessly, asking the same question over and over: what does the photo mean? Was it real? And every time, she avoided the answer. Not because she didn't know it, but because saying it out loud would make it undeniable. Behind the scenes, Can was silent too. No statements, no denials, no explanations. His silence spoke louder than any words could. To the world, it looked like confirmation. To Demet, it was something else entirely. His refusal to speak, to defend, to explain, it reopened old wounds. Was he protecting her? Protecting himself? Or was he simply too broken to say anything at all? As the photo spread, it became more than just an image. It became a mirror, reflecting the love, the pain, the regrets they had both carried in silence. And with each passing day, the weight grew heavier, pressing down on both of them until it was impossible to ignore. For Demet, the tears didn't stop. For Can, the silence became unbearable. The photo had done what years of distance could not, it brought everything back. And now, the world was watching, waiting for the truth they had never dared to tell. For the world, Can's silence looked like strength. He walked past the cameras with his usual confidence, his head held high, his trademark smile untouched. But behind closed doors, the weight of that hidden photo pressed down on him like a stone he could no longer carry. He had seen it, the photo that everyone was now talking about. The moment he laid eyes on it again, he felt his stomach tighten. It was a memory he had tried to bury, a truth he had convinced himself belonged to the past. And yet, there it was, exposed to the entire world. At night, when the lights were off and the noise faded, he sat alone, staring at the image on his phone. His chest rose and fell heavily, as if every breath hurt. In that photograph, he saw more than just himself and Demet. He saw the love he never had the courage to admit, the life he might have had, the what if that haunted him more with every passing year. He wanted to call her. He wanted to explain, to tell her why he had never spoken, why he had hidden his feelings behind silence and distance. But each time he picked up the phone, fear stopped him. What could he possibly say? That the photo was proof of a love he still couldn't let go? That every word fans had speculated was true? Instead, he said nothing. To the world, his silence became an answer. But inside, it was torture. Because silence had always been his shield, and now, it was his prison. The photo didn't just reveal the truth to the world. It revealed it to him. It forced him to face what he had lost, what he had thrown away, what he had been too afraid to claim. And in that silence, regret consumed him. The hidden photo had done what years of distance, silence, and denial could not. It ripped open the past and forced both Can and Demet to face the truth they had spent so long burying. For Demet, it was a wound reopened. For Can, it was regret made visible. And for the world, it was confirmation of what fans had always believed, that their story had never just been fiction. Yet even as the photo spread, even as confessions trembled on Demet's lips and silence weighed heavy on Can's shoulders, the truth remained incomplete. Because the photo could show a moment, but it could never capture the words left unspoken, the chances never taken, the nights lost to fear. And so, the question lingered. What if? What if the photo had surfaced years earlier, when there was still time? What if they had been brave enough to admit what everyone else could already see? What if one moment, one truth, one choice had changed everything? No one will ever know. The photo is just an image now, a frozen memory that lives in headlines, in whispers, in the minds of millions of fans who still believe. But for Can and Demet, it will always be more. It will always be the reminder of a love too real to deny, too fragile to protect, too late to save. And in the quiet, when the noise fades and the cameras are gone, perhaps they still think of it. Perhaps they still wonder. Because sometimes, one photo is not just a photo. Sometimes, it is the life you almost had, and the love you can never forget.